still with me, and they are like little guardian angels, little darlings that float around in my field of vision, and they come sometimes with a little blink of light in my vision as a guide, or as a, maybe they're building me a nest, but I have not lost them. They are ever present with me. Now, my oldest child now is 44, and my baby is 18, so these pregnancies were spread out over decades, really. Most mother on the planet. But I wanted to give you what I have come to know as a resolution, as a positive resolution of my losses. That they are not lost. They are with me in a way that is strengthening, that is provides me hope. They are not lost. And whether or not you're able to have another pregnancy and another child, or if you can never have children again, or if you're just going to put this off for another few months to heal and then try again. The last one I had at 44, the first one I had at 19, and everything in between was just trying to get pregnant. It's the hardest thing I ever did, was face with infertility. And I want you to know that it is not a loss. It is a gain in place. In a place you don't even know exists until you open your eyes and see that this little spirit is still with you and is your guide forever and will be there when you cross. I am certain of this, and I wish for you a positive resolution that took me years and 8 losses. Started getting it before the 8th one, but each one was devastating in its own way, and it does not have to be so. It is not your fault. It is not the fault of anything. The timing is perfect. Those little spirits that you carried, that were yours, your hopes and your dreams and your expectations. I talked about expectations in Quantumair 1, and expectations are really dangerous because we feel like we ought to be entitled to have what we want when we want it on a schedule that works for us, and that's not the way the universe is. The timing is perfect, and it will come when it comes, and if it doesn't, then you're meant to be doing something else, and if you can accept that without going back and being angry or sad or all of those other things that go along with not getting what you want when you want it, your joy will come through. So the bottom line is, having a miscarriage is a passage into another place with this entity that is really more perfect than it would ever have been here. If it did not get to the ground, I always say that I have 3 on the ground and 8 in little blinking lights around my head. Those around my head are just as real and have just as much of a place in my heart as the ones on the ground. So I'm sorry that you are feeling the pain that you're feeling, that I know so well. But I hope for you this understanding that these, or this little spirit that didn't come all the way to you, is still with you, and is better off where it is right now. Because the way it was coming wasn't going to be able to be whole here. So now it's whole for you on this spiritual plane that's extremely accessible. And don't discount that, because that is where your access still is. And you just heal, and you go back for another one. So, that's my resolution. And I hope that you can take what I am saying to heart and not be just sad. It's okay to grieve, and it's okay to mourn. It's all right to be sad, but don't be just sad. Be open and be joyful that the spirit that came and went is still connected to you in a way that you will have to grow older to understand. But you can be assured that those little boogers, whether it's just one or 8 in my case, they can be very influential in your life and help you in ways that the ones here who are making a mess in one way or another cannot. And of course, I adore all my children, and I wish for you joy. That's what I wish for you. And one more thing. You might not be ready to hear what I've just said, but just remember that those little blinking lights that you see, whether it's in a star or, a flash of a light from a Christmas tree, these are the little voices that are still speaking to you. So open your mind and your heart and look at the game.